I'm Stacy, and we're gonna do a 30-minute yoga movement class based on some of the stuff that we're gonna be doing at the retreats. We're gonna start by warming up all of our energy pathways or meridians to traditional Chinese medicine. Warm up our spines a little bit, hips, shoulder mobility, and then we'll get into a pose, a different yoga pose based on each set of meridians throughout the body. Let's go. All right, we're gonna start standing on our mat doing meridian slapping technique. So just follow my lead. Doing a forward fold, find the top of your feet. We're gonna slap top of our feet. And then move up to the ankles, shins, front of the knees. Using fists on the front of your thighs or any of the bigger muscles in your body. Standing up straight, front of the hips. Activate your core and all the way up your abdomen to your chest. We're going to slap chest, front body, stomach pathway. Fingertips we're going to use around the clavicles and use fingertips all the way up towards your neck, jaw, face, cheeks, and ending at the bone right under your eyes. This is stomach pathway, all the way back down. Fingertips on jaw, neck, all around your clavicle. You're lightly tapping. And then slapping chest again. Activating your core, fists down the abdomen, down the hips, down the thighs. And then slapping knees, shins, ankles, and then grabbing second toe. This is the end of the stomach pathway. Just holding for a moment. Moving towards the second pathway, side bodies, gallbladder. We're slapping the sides of our ankles, shins, sides of our knees, IT bands with your fists, working our way up the side bodies. Slap the side of your glutes, hips, or using fists. And then side of your body with your palms. Using your knuckles, go between your ribs like a washboard. All the crevices of your ribs. And then coming to the top of your shoulders, one fist at a time, just the very top muscle, the trap muscle in your shoulder. Sides of the neck, using our tapping with our fingers again, behind your ears, all around your skull, any place you'd like, around the ears, coming to the forehead for a little bit, and then ending up at the temples. And then working our way all the way back down side body, skull, all around the ears, sides of the neck, top of the shoulders, one fist at a time. Side bodies slapping and then using that technique between your ribs with your knuckles. Sides of the hips, sides of the IT bands, all the way down the legs, slap the sides of the shins, ankles. Grabbing fourth toe this time, end of the gallbladder pathway. And last one we'll do is for bladder, back body. So fisting your Achilles tendons and all the way up your calves, lightly behind the knees, very lightly. And then up the hamstrings, you can slap, use fists, whatever feels best. Slowly come to a stand and do all the back side of your glutes, all parts of your glutes. You can use fist and go straight into your sacrum bone. And then all the way up the erector spinae. On either side of the spine, you're going to go up as high as you can reach. Once you get there, we're going to shift to the opposite side, our upper back. And using fingers behind your neck, top of the head, forehead. And then making your way to the tear ducts. And you can hold it there for a moment. That's the beginning of the bladder pathway. And let's make our way all the way back down. Head, back of the head, back of the neck, bladder 10. We'll go over this later. Upper back as far down as you can reach. Mid back as far up as you can reach with your fists. Work your way down towards your glutes. You can do sacrum again, right on that bone, not on your spine, but on the sacrum. All parts of your glutes, back down your thighs, lightly behind the knees. And calves, Achilles tendons. And grab your fifth toe. This is the beginning of the bladder pathway, or the end, one of the ends. Slowly come to a stand. We'll take a breath or two just to neutralize. Feel how that made your body feel. And we're going to go through these three pathways through stretches. So reaching your arms up towards the sky and stretch out to the left side for a side body stretch for your right side. This is gallbladder. You're reaching up and out to the side, stretching through those right ribs and breathing. Ground your feet into the earth. And we'll switch sides, reach up, big inhale, exhale, opposite side, reach towards the right, up and over, stretching the left ribs. Breathing. Rooting through feet, lift your arms back up overhead. This time stomach, we're going to let our head drop back and stretch the front body, squeezing your glutes and the back body to allow the front body to open. And from here, head comes back to neutral. Bring a slight bend to your knee and come in all the way into a forward fold. Grab behind your legs and drop your head. Bladder stretch, full back body stretch. You could even activate your core slightly to bring your chest closer to your legs. Hold here and breathe. Interlock your hands once again, lift back up to a stand, knees are bent, come all the way to a stand. We're going to just hold here for about 5 breaths before we move on to the next set of stretches. So allow yourself to take full, deep belly breaths. Maybe a hand on belly, feel the air coming in to fill up your hands. And as you exhale, your belly recoils. When you're ready, we're going to go through some stretches for the other meridian. So first is lung. Take your thumbs, reach your arms out to each side, thumbs drop back and down. So we're opening our chest really wide. Hold here for a few breaths. You could also let your fingers kind of fall out to each side, stretching your whole hands. Lift your head. And drop your arms, taking your left pointer finger, point it down and back towards the back of the room. And then you're going to take your chin, reach it towards the opposite shoulder. So we're stretching one side here at a time. And here I'm holding my opposite nostril to kind of get the end of this meridian pathway, which is large intestine. It goes from that index finger all the way to the opposite nostril. Just stretching that line out. And breathing. Same thing, other side. Point your right index finger down and back towards the back of the room. Turn your head to face the opposite shoulder, that left shoulder. And then feel free to hold that left nostril if you'd like. Stretching through this pathway. You can really reach. Feel your arm stretching in all parts, all the way from your index finger to your neck. And relax. Pericardium, you're going to find the center point of each hand. And you're going to reach both hands out like you're pushing two opposite walls away from each other, fingers face towards the sky. Here you could think of yourself as a 5-pointed star. You don't really look like a star, but, I mean, you do, but you reach both feet down towards the floor, both arms out to the opposite sides, and your crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. So you're reaching in 5 different directions is kind of what I was getting at. Big stretch here and release. Triple warmer stretch. We're going to roll shoulders back and down, palms face forward. Think about your ring fingers here, reaching down towards the floor. Shoulders reach down as far as you can, chin comes down to chest, and do a couple rolls to each side with your chin, stretching the back of the neck. And when you feel ready, you can hold one side, looking down at one shoulder, or closing your eyes. So we're kind of stretching the back of the neck here, from ring finger to the back of the neck. And let's find the opposite side. And when you're ready, roll it out, come back up to neutral, shake it out a little bit. Last one, we're doing heart and small intestine together. Pinky fingers here, reach them out as far as they can. You're gonna internally rotate your right arm, reach up your back as far as you can go. Externally rotate your top arm, reach down your back as far as you can go. Maybe you've done this before. Try to connect your hands, or if not, pressing both hands into your back, and you can kind of press your head into your forearm, that top forearm. We're just holding here, opening our chest, letting your spine naturally curve the way that it does. Light arch in your lumbar and cervical, and really press somewhat of a rounding into your thoracic. So we're going to switch sides. Finding that internal rotation and external rotation so they can meet in the back, your arms. And see here if you can breathe into your upper back, lengthening the spine in your upper back and your mid back, kind of where your hands are hitting. Feel free to come out of that. Relax. We're going to shake it out a little bit. Take the next 10 seconds to just shake, wiggle, shake off all that stuff we just kind of created in the body. And then we'll come to another 5 breaths. Belly breaths here, maybe hand on belly. And just notice what's going on in your body, how you feel. And next we'll prepare for some spine openers all throughout the spine. So we're going to roll the neck one way in a circle. Just circles one way. We'll switch eventually, but just hit this one direction first for a few moments. You also want to stand nice and light, slightly bend your knees, relax your shoulders. When you're ready, switch directions of your neck circles. You can go as big or as small of a range of motion as you'd like, whatever feels opening to you. And the next thing we're going to do is a little different. We're going to turn our head quickly to each side, diagonal and up. So one side, 2 nods. The other side, 2 nods. One diagonal, 2 nods. One diagonal, 2 nods. And then up towards the sky, 2 nods. And it's a quick movement. We're going to do it a few times. Just a little more opening in the cervical spine. And when you're done with that, relax. And then we're going to make our head like a bobblehead. So laterally bending your head side to side and going as fast as you can, keeping your body still. This is going to open up more in the cervical spine. And relax, maybe widen your feet. Take a moment to breathe. Next, getting into the shoulders. So we're going to do a shoulder movement where one shoulder goes up and the other goes down really fast, like you're shrugging one at a time, as I show here. We're also going to do a breathing technique where you exhale little quick spurts. So taking a big inhale and exhaling in spurts as you do this shoulder movement. So when you're ready, we'll do it together. Very nice. Come back to normal breath. Shake out your shoulders a little bit. And then coming into this area, our thoracic area of our spine, we're going to do circles with our ribs. So we're trying to keep our hips still, and we'll go one direction first, just moving ribs in a circle as shown here. It could be kind of fun, just like moving however feels good, but trying to isolate just this area. Arms can be wherever you want. I kind of have mine out for balance and counter going the movement. Switch directions. Yep, try to keep the hips still and just move in circles with that upper body. Amazing. We're opening up the thoracic spine, and now we're moving down to our lumbar. So I point on my arm because you're going to keep your arms straight, press them into the tops of your thighs, and come into a squat, like a goddess, almost a goddess leg squat. And here we're lengthening our low back. We're taking a big inhale and sitting down into our squat with our arms straight. So you're pressing down into your thighs to really lengthen that lower spine. And then take a break, relax, forward fold, take a breath. Maybe wiggle side to side. And we'll do it one more time. So as you inhale, coming up, press into the top of your thighs. Try to keep your arms as straight as you can. It's not always going to be easy to do this, but give it your best. And feel your lower lumbar and your lower spine lengthening. And relax, take a break. Coming back up to standing. Simply from here, we're going to do hip circles. So opposite of what we did earlier, we're trying to keep our ribs and our upper body still and just move hips in a nice circle. We'll go one way first. Bending the knees, really getting into it like it's a dance, a beautiful opening of the hips. Let's switch directions. Keep it moving. Make it feel really good in your body. If it feels weird, that's good too. Shake it out. And we'll do 5 more breaths after all of these openings. Belly breaths. Nice and deep. And shake that out. All right, we're going to get into our poses, one for each set of meridians to start. So stand in the middle of your mat. Arms reach up and fold down, forward fold. And we will hold this forward fold. This is for bladder and kidney pathway, mainly bladder, but bladder and kidney go together. And we're just gonna find this position. Let your hands press into the ground, or you could even grab behind your ankles or your shins, whatever you wanna do. We're gonna try to really lift through our tail and really press down through our crown to get that stretch through the back body. And here we're just holding, settling. Breathing. And then here I take my thumbs and perhaps press into the back of your neck on either side of the spine. This is bladder 10, the general area, and it's a good point to open up the whole spine, and it also helps with headaches. So you could hold there, and then we'll come right on out. Bring arms up, slowly stand, and we'll do 5 breaths. That was our pose for bladder. We're not going to do a specific pose for kidney, but knowing kidney goes with bladder. After your 5 breaths, we're going to do stomach spleen. So standing at the top of your mat, reach your arms up. We'll forward fold and step back with our left leg. Right leg stays forward in a lunge. And here we're just finding our lunge, really squeezing glutes and pressing into the front foot and the back knee or shin. And we're going to open up front body here, especially on the left side, seeing that our left hip is open. And this is for the stomach pathway. You can reach up with your arms or you can keep them supporting you on the ground. Either way. We're opening up all the way from the top of the left foot, up the legs, to the hips, chest, throat, all the way to the eyes. Now, as I'm doing here, you can reach back if you have the flexibility, opening up in this way, as long as there's no pain. Just going to whatever capacity that you can, and we'll come out of that. Step back into a downward facing dog just for some neutralization. Downward facing dog or an upside down V. We're pressing into our feet and hands, lifting tail towards the sky, maybe shifting side to side, just finding a nice juicy opening. And then we'll step forward with the opposite foot, our left foot. And we'll do the same thing on this side, opening but more so with the right side. So pressing down into that front foot and back shin. Lift your chest, lift your arms if you want. And we're opening that whole right side of the front body, stomach pathway. Stomach goes with spleen. More on these points and pathways later, especially if you are coming to the retreat. And then opening your chest as far open as you'd like, opening your throat. And when you're ready, stepping out of that, slowly come to your downward facing dog once more. And then down to your shins. And we'll take 5 breaths here to neutralize. Really feel what's going on in your body. Let's come back to a downward facing dog. This time we're going to lift the right leg and pull it into the front again. We're going to shift foot to the opposite hand and come into a pigeon. This is a big, great hip opener. You're going to try to keep your hips square. And we'll slowly make our way down to the mat. In your own time, we're settling into this pose. You could come to elbows, or you could come all the way down to your chest, whatever serves you best here. See if you can let your head go, as in relaxing towards the ground. And just focusing on some letting go here, release. This is for the gallbladder pathway. Gallbladder is paired with liver. Has to do with lots of side body things, twisting, hip openers. All those will serve this pathway. Slowly bring your hands back up. We're going to open up our chest and maybe pull your back leg to try to touch your head. See if you can get close. See if you can lift your foot at all. It's totally up to you. Maybe you reach back and grab the foot. Just a tiny bit of playtime here, opening our front body. And then coming right back into a downward facing dog, shift side to side. Find a big stretch, neutralization here between the sides. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, lift up that left leg, place it in between your hands, walk it to the opposite hand or your right hand. We'll find pigeon on this side now. The front shin does not have to be parallel with the front of the mat. You can really pull the heel towards your seat. However, you want to make sure your hips are pretty square in this position, so you're not just sitting down on one hip. And then again, you're taking your time getting down towards the floor. And we just hold and breathe. Surrender in this position where it might feel tense and challenging in certain parts of your body. Allow other parts of your body to feel that release and relaxation. And then maybe even taking extra deep breaths and sending them into those spaces that might feel more tension. We'll slowly bring our way back up. Same thing on this side. You can open your chest and just find a stretch, or you can also bring your foot towards your head, see if you can touch. Or you can just hold the position longer. Whatever you want to do. Play with opening the chest, lifting the back foot and leg, just for a little counter stretch. And when ready, press right back into your downward facing dog. And coming back down to the knees, shifting into a seat and just taking another 5 breaths here. Neutralization. Allow the poses to be felt in your body without just constantly moving to the next one, but taking a moment to pause. When ready, let's shift down to our belly on the mat. We're going to get into the heart pathways. There's a few here. Heart, triple heater, small intestine, and pericardium. We'll start with a small cobra or upward facing dog just to open the chest a bit. Drop your shoulders, lift your head. Open the front body. Just a little warm up for our next pose. Bring it back down towards the floor. We're going to find locust. So let your legs lift and let your chest lift off the floor. Palms can face down. And we're really squeezing the whole back body in order to open the front body. If you want to challenge, bring your arms to the front and imagine you're serving a cup of soup to someone in front of you or to the gods. It's going to kind of get into your heart, small intestine pathway. And when you're ready, relax. Take a break. Lay in a mini shavasana on your belly. And we'll come back up for the last pose, I believe. For lung and large intestine, we're going to find camel. So finding your clavicles and just kind of feeling around the edge of your clavicle to know where it is, where your clavicle meets your shoulder. Just kind of, there's a space in there you can press into before we start. And then you're going to press into your lower back or your glutes and open your chest and your heart for camel. If you have the flexibility and you want to go deeper, you can find your ankles with your hands and hold the position there as pictured. Slowly but surely we'll come out of it. Not quite yet. Okay, start to walk your hands back up to your hips. Your head comes last, and you can come back down to your seated position. 5 breaths here, relax. Feel all the things. And then we'll finish class. We'll skip out on Shavasana during this class. You can feel free to do it afterwards. But that concludes what we do today. I'm just doing an Om here. We'll do one Om together. Inhale. And that's it for today. I wanted to make this a little quick, just excerpt of what we're going to kind of see at the retreat and just some of the things I do in my classes as per usually. So I hope you enjoyed, and please let me know how it went for you, and have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing.